Shri Shankara Bhagavad Padar explains the word Matarishva like this: Matari, mother. Matarishva, that moves, Shvayati, that moves in mother. By that is meant the wind. It is generally accepted that the sky is the mother of wind. That which moves in the mother is wind. Wind that moves in the mother, in its mother, sky, is here called Matarishva. By wind is meant prana. By prana, the governing force. Prana apportions by the word apa. Apa accentuated would mean water. Apa in singular would mean work, or the apportionment of work. All the movements in the work, the functions. Matarishva, prana, it is prana which governs the movements in the universe. Whether it is of individuals or the phenomenal forces, it is prana that determines, that orders, that governs the working of each of these. The sun shines. It is a function of the sun to shine. The fire burns. It is the function of the fire to burn, flare, in flames. That is governed by prana. It is prana that makes the water flow. It is prana that makes the clouds shower rain. Thus, the prana in this context is Isha, not the prana which works in the individual as the breath, but prana at a macro level. That is taken as Ishvara. Prana is Ishvara. That Ishvara that governs each and every activity of this universe is functioning on the basis of Brahma. This is how we relate the transcendental Brahma to the universe that exists around us, which is immanent for us, which we feel. Everything in this universe is lorded over by prana. And that prana, that Ishvara, himself has his basis in Brahman. Thus, there is nothing that is divorced of Brahman. All the Dikpalakas, the lords who govern over the cardinal points, all of them are like vassals, offering their oblations before, making their offerings before the emperor. That Brahman, we may not be able to relate it immediately, instantly, except with deep reflection. But in these terms, which we see in this physical universe, the law behind it, how well the universe is governed, we are able to understand the power of that Brahman. Very often, we may find lawlessness in nature. But then, when we deeply contemplate even that lawlessness, behind that there is a law. For example, let us take small examples. Water. Water actually condenses as the temperature goes down. But when the temperature goes down and reaches 4 degrees centigrade, it starts expanding. And we call it the anomalous expansion of water. So even the small phenomenon relating to water has a law behind it. Sitting in the laboratory, the space scientists are able to send spacecrafts to faraway destinations. They are able to factor in the atmospheric influences on the spacecraft, and then far away in the space, far away, deep into the space, when it reaches, it has to take into account the various other things like the speed of the Earth on its own axis, the speed of the Earth on its orbit, all these are factored in. Sitting in a laboratory and the spacecraft hits the destination. It's successful in its journey. That means behind every small phenomenon, we have a law. If we find an aberration, for that aberration also there is a law. It's like Sanskrit grammar. Even if there is only one instance for the usage, for a particular usage, a law has been formulated for that. It's like that. Thus, sitting in this universe, where we are very often deluded by our own senses, where we are subjected to hallucinations, but sitting here, we also realize that we are under the governance of a superpower. And that superpower is working under the Brahman, on the basis of the Brahman. Asmin napo madarishwa dadhadi. In that, the life force establishes the waters according to Sri Aravinda Ghosh. According to Sri Shankara Bhagavad Padar, the prana that apportions everything, that controls everything, is working on the basis of that Brahman. This fourth line of the fourth stanza is very important, because it is through that we are able to relate the universe that we experience here with the unmoving, unshaking, stable Brahman, which is beyond the comprehension of intelligence, but which one can reach and be only through deep contemplation. So that line, it was felt, requires a deeper reflection. Namaskar, pranamam to all blessed souls. Hari Om.